So here's how I made my Edward chassis. Quick warning, small parts are involved, so this may be dangerous if you're not being careful and without adult supervision. Now you want to find yourself a chassis. Here I have a James chassis which I'm going to turn into Molly. I myself used Gordon's chassis, though the process is going to be the exact. You could use Percy's chassis and just drill in the hole here. So normally there would be 3 screws, obviously here, here, and here, but I've already taken them out. Now all you gotta do is gently lift this up, make sure the switch doesn't fall because that can fall out pretty easily, and now you have the motor. Now normally under the motor there's going to be these sort of fake wheels, but I myself took them out of my models, that way all the wheels could move on their own. However, if you don't care about making the wheels move, then you can just keep these wheels. I then sanded down these pieces so that way these axles here could fit. The next step is I gripped the axle right here with a set of pliers and just started rotating it so that way the axle wouldn't be as far in, as tightly held in, whatever, you know? After that, I held this upside down and started hammering down onto the pliers, specifically right here. And I specifically held it down because it's just going to be easier when you hammer down instead of up. It's gravity, you know? For mine, I did mess up a little bit and made a hole too big because I stupidly thought that the wheels would be in a different sort of area. However, I ended up putting in Milliput here so that way it had a bit of a tight grip. So you might want to do this if you are going to make these wheels here. These are the same wheels and axles from the front part right here. But as you can see, these are at a really good height to be able to move. And that's sort of what I was like mattering about. For the 4 wheels here, as you can see, I just used the Nias from Push Along as the wheels. It's just ironic. Anyway, I put Milliput right here. The axle is right before this little bump. And just a tiny little bit of Milliput right here. And they're both at the perfect height to be able to roll on the ground. One change I would make, however, is removing those little bumps on each side of these right here, because it might grind on the plastic a little bit. I also left a bit of a gap here just in case it needs like help on turns, and it turns pretty well, thankfully. So unfortunately, like with most customs, it's not perfect. It's the way I did it. If you have any questions, then please ask me. Hopefully I've been able to give you some other options to be able to do this.